Hello, Sunshine Babies. It is I, Robbie. Welcome back to the Sunshine Archives. In today's video, I'm going to go over the books that made their way into my life this month. I have a little book haul. I promise I'm still being good about buying books. And we'll do some Bibliomancy, which is what I generally do with new books, so we can add some cards to the Commonplace box. Now, before I get into the actual video, I do want to talk a little bit about my personal life. I want to yap for a minute. So if you don't care to hear that, go ahead and click the timestamp in the description. And if you do care, please stick around. All right. So first and foremost, I need to thank all of you for being so kind and gentle to my spouse who filmed a video for me. They literally sat down here and filmed on my behalf because I wanted to post consistently so badly, even though I felt like shit. And I'll explain what happened. So this might be too much personal information, but I want you to get to know me. I want to connect with you. I want this to be community, and I feel okay sharing this part of myself. So editing Robbie here. Trigger warning. I'm going to be talking briefly about needles, doctors, passing out. So if you're not into that, skip a couple minutes. I have POTS. And I have I think it's called vagal vagus nerve syncope. I've always passed out at doctors since I was a little kid because I have a needle phobia and medical phobia in general, but it always happens with needles. And I'll stop saying that word now because So I went to go get an MRI because I have arthritis, and I'm, going through that diagnostic process at the moment. And they had to put in an IV, and I'm terrified, and I fainted. And because I'm also chronically ill, it just heavily affected everything. I spent the whole day with a migraine, throwing up, my joints were in pain, and the recovery process was absolute shit. I was literally bedridden for days. So I could not, under any circumstances, get my body up to film. So God bless my little baby who did this for me. So thank you, baby. And thank you all for being so kind to them. They are going to reply. If they haven't replied to you, they will. They love seeing all of your comments. It's their first time uploading something. They want to do a YouTube channel someday. So it was such an act of love, and it was so beautiful to watch, and just thank you. The second thing I have to tell you is that I just started work yesterday. So I'm actually filming this, I think it's 5:30 in the morning. I have my little timer, so I was I have 19 minutes so I can get dressed. I'm literally in my pajamas. I only just had my breakfast. I'm still having my coffee. I am a teacher, and school has just begun. And the thing is that because I'm chronically ill and have chronic fatigue syndrome and all of the above, when I get home, I'm basically incapacitated. I'm gonna eat, shower, and I'm gonna go to sleep. The brain fog is heavy. I have memory loss throughout the day. I'll find myself asking the same questions and people being you already asked me that. There is no capacity in me to film in the evenings when I get home. And so I've decided to wake up a half hour earlier. I woke up at 4:45 this morning in the hopes that would provide enough time for me to do this. This is it's my hobby. It's this thing that brings me joy, that brings me happiness to my neurons. And it's also something that I would eventually like to become my job. I want to be a full-time writer and YouTube content creator. I've been making YouTube videos since I was 15 years old. My other channel I've had for 13 years. It's something that I refuse to give up on, and so I just have to make the time for it, and I don't want to feel burnt out from it. And I know that if I did it in the afternoons, I would be A, burnt out, B, flared up, and C, not my full energetic self. I'm very much a morning person, and I don't want y'all to get the falling asleep, brain fog, tongue twisted version of myself. So that is the update. That is the end of the yap. We have 18 minutes left. This is a new addition to my life as well. I actually bought another one that I'm taking to school with me. Timers for ADHD. Highly recommend. Okay, let's get through the books that I purchased. The reason why I bought these is because I actually went to a stationery store event. My city, my town was having like a stationery store day, and I wanted to check out one of the stores, but then the line was huge and I cannot stand in line in the sun. But there was a bookstore by the stationery store, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Me in a bookstore, I have no self-control. So the fact that I only came home with 3 is like some incredible self-control, and these were full priced. I forgot how expensive full priced books are because I always buy them used. This was like $90 for 3 books, and I was like, oh my gosh. So let me briefly explain why I got each one. So Lamott, I don't know, Bird by Bird. This is a writing book. I collect writing books. I read writing books because I want to be a writer. I love nonfiction about writing poetry, essays. I have quite a few of them, like 9 Gates by Jane Hirschfield. I have Denise Levertov, The Poet in the World. I'm currently reading Mary Oliver's A Guidebook to Writing Poetry, and this is just one of the many. I've read, what's that other one? Writing Down the Bones, you know, all the famous ones. And this has just always been on my wish list for years and years and years under like books about writing. So when I saw it, I just grabbed it. It's called Some Instructions on Writing and Life. I think it's probably like part memoir, part writing. The little bird has like a quill in its beak. I love it. This is because I'm collecting Leonora Carrington. I own this like giant coffee table book that's all about her tarot. I love her art, and there's someone who she like worked with. It wasn't Amparo Davila, that was the house guest. I can't think of it right now, but there was like another surrealist artist that has like the same kind of art style that she does, and they were like witchy and magical, and just I'm obsessed with Carrington's art. Hi, it's me again. I have Google access now, and I can tell you it's Remedios Varo, Remedios Varo, and I've seen her artwork as well, and I remember thinking, oh, this looks like Leonora Carrington, like their artwork looks exactly the same. And in my head they were like lesbian witches, but I think they both had husbands. And if they re-released her tarot deck, like I would cry. I have The Hearing Trumpet, which I never finished, but I remember enjoying, so I need to reread that. And this is just another one of her works. I just want to be someone who knows more about Leonora Carrington. I really want to read down below. I would love to read like a biography of hers, like know more about what happened to her, like how her time in institution was, why she moved to Mexico, like how she found her, you know, her coven, how she started painting. Like I'd love to know more about her. So that's why I picked up Leonora Carrington. And then this was one of those moments where like, I don't know what this is about, but I'm just gonna grab it because it caught my attention. I had that bookstore moment, that library moment when I was like a little kid, where I just grabbed the thing that stood out to me the most. And then that's the one that I read because that's the one that I grabbed without any previous knowledge. And this was wrapped up, like it was in plastic and cellophane. It was pretty. I couldn't open it. I followed my intuition, and it ends up being like a trans poetry book. So great, good on me. I love the imagery of the freaking chicken foot. It has its nails painted. Like as a like non-binary person, I very much like feel more like a monster, an alien, a blob, as opposed to like a human being. So I'm like, yeah, this is literally, this is my hand. And I don't know, it just called out to me, and I love poetry. It was in the poetry section. I'm always looking for new poets, all kinds of poetry. Like I want to read every kind of poetry, and when it's trans and queer, like even more so. I also love how poetry doesn't ever have a specific like standard size. My poetry collection is like my weirdest looking physically collection because it's like all over the place, like from this big small to like this big. I love the size of it. So let's do some bibliomancy. So what bibliomancy is, it's fortune telling, traditionally done with a Bible. So you would like ask the Bible a question and then open it up and get guidance from the heavens. But I am like a really witchy person. I do tarot. And the reason I said it's because I was thinking like, yeah, sometimes I'm like heavy on the spiritual and sometimes I'm like heavy on the atheism. It just is what it is. There's a double Gemini in this world. But I like taking the concept and using it to Commonplace because it feels magical, serendipitous, but also matches with the channel. I've been trying to figure out ways to incorporate other things that I enjoy onto this channel. Like in my other channel, I did journaling videos, fountain pen inking videos, tarot videos, but I like finding ways to make it all about the niche, about Commonplace, and I thought this was just like such a wonderful way to incorporate like my love of books and like a booktube channel mixed with like a tarot channel within my own niche. So that's why I do Bibliomancy instead of just like a regular schmegular book haul. Okay, so let's go through. I think this time I'm gonna ask them each a question. So yeah, asking the books questions was not the way to go. Not only that, it didn't like really answer any of the questions, or I completely misinterpreted everything. So and get ready for the chaos. It's happening. Like what's an important quote for me this first week of work? Some guidance for this first week of work. Let's have a look. I eventually throw away a lot of my index cards, either because I use what's on them in a paragraph somewhere or because it turns out that the thought wasn't all that interesting. And then this one says, sometimes I'll be driving along and all of a sudden words form in my mind that solve some technical problem for me. This does happen to me. It might happen to me this week, but I think it's telling me that I need to go through my index cards again and see what works and what doesn't. It's been a long time. So maybe that could be a video. Maybe it just gave me a video idea. I don't think I'm gonna put that in here. And actually I don't have a spot for video ideas. But let me get a little post-it note and I will write it. This is my post-it note drawer. Let's see. I want to use my Midori ones. This is my yellow vanishing point. I got it on Amazon for like $70. It's so smooth and so beautiful. I think it's a Birmingham ink in it. Is it called something film? The ink is called Projector Film, and I love how I said it was like $70 because compared to my other vanishing point, which was $800, like $70 is like really cheap. I'm like, it's only so cheap, like $70, because the fountain pen hobby is expensivo, but get a preppy. You don't need to spend $70. You don't need to spend $70 on a pen. Looking back at the whole thing about index cards, if we're interpreting it in regards to work, maybe it's like, forget about anything you've prepped or decided that you were going to say, teach, talk about, kind of like how you would write a presentation on an index card, and really go through it and think maybe that wasn't the right thing. Or if you're gonna send an email, like maybe revise that or tell them in person, like double, triple, quadruple check your shit. And yeah, maybe that's the advice it was trying to give me. I don't know, what do you think? So video idea. Video, oh, hard start. Hello? Are you in there? Okay. I'm just gonna like paraphrase it. Go through cards for writing inspo and then use some to write zettles. Okay. So we got a video idea from this book. It's literally called index cards. Like, what? I'm making an index card video and I opened to the chapter called index cards. And this is why I'm like, coincidence or synchronicity? That made me so happy. Okay, let's do The Stone Door by Leonora Carrington. So, Leonora, what is your guidance for this burnt out 7-year into education, chronically ill teacher on the internet? I wouldn't talk to them if I were. Who do you mean? Should I not be filming right now? Should I not be exposing myself like this? Let me get a tarot card. Okay, thinking about it now, it could just mean like, don't tell everyone everything. At the end of the day, your job is your job and you don't shit where you eat. You want to make friendly with your coworkers, but not give them ammunition for like they can like turn on you or, you know, not want the best for you. In my mind, in my heart, like everyone is kind and nice and loving and wants the best for you, but like that's not true. And as someone on the spectrum, it's really hard to stay surface level and not overshare, as you could probably tell from this video. But maybe it's like, you know, keep some things to yourself. Don't overshare. Be careful of what you say and who you say it to. I'm just gonna ask, like, what would happen, like, what is it that it's trying to like protect me from in regards to not speaking up? And this for my tarot girlies out there, this is the Reclaim Oracle. It's one of my favorite oracle decks ever. Okay, perseverance. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's too early for me for the Bibliomancy. Editing Robbie again, much later in the day, and I can't even begin to tell you what that even means or if it even means anything. And for that, I apologize. So no commonplacing yet. Okay, I do have 5 minutes left on the timer. So this is, we have some life advice. We have a video idea. We have some coffee. Okay. Consider the Rooster. Maybe the books don't have anything to say this early in the morning. One more time. Lives are precious or expandable, expelled, expressed, released, sighed, sloughed off to replicate in someone else's precious or expendable lungs. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's a good one. We got one. Oh, and it's also titled Michigan, and I just happened to meet a coworker yesterday who is from Michigan. So interesting. So let's do life. Everyone is sick or healing. Lives are precious or expendable. Expelled. There is the index card. And there is the video idea. Okay, I'm gonna leave everything as is. I do have 1 minute left on the timer, so it is time to sign off. I won't put it there because it might give you anxiety. I know it gives me anxiety. Thank you for being here in the Sunshine Archives. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being kind to my spouse. Thank you for sticking around. So I hope that this works out for me. I'm gonna try to wake up early tomorrow to edit. Like, I'm trying something out. I'm setting up a new routine for myself. I'm trying to set myself up for success while making time for the things I love and taking my body into consideration. And remember to persevere. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.